Okay, right out of the gate, I have a couple of quick corrections to make. First off, I said that Kaioshin had trained Trunks last time, and then people point out, like, actually, it says advise, and yeah, it does say advise or something. They don't actually say, like, he was instructed or something. They don't actually say trained. I just assumed it was training because it's Dragon Ball, everything's training. Hell, it probably was training, but they didn't actually say training, so that was my fault for taking the line out of context and just making an assumption. My bad. Also, Goku and Trunks sparring, their reasoning for that was to see how Goku matched up against Black, the Gage's power. Once again, I was well aware of that. I do wait for subtitles, regardless of what some people might think. And I threw out some bullshit reason for them sparring or whatever, because the reason that they were sparring was completely irrelevant to the point I was making. The point was how tonally odd that scene was, and how just this weird tonal shift it became. And that they had like this weird bubble thing that they were training in, how fanfiction-y that whole thing felt. That was the point I was making, so I threw out a bullshit reason because I didn't really care about the reasoning, because that wasn't the point. But some people felt like, correcting me on both of these things. I guess they'll teach me for, ever using hyperbole, ever. Or making any kind of assumptions, ever. But I can at least admit when I say the wrong thing, and I said the wrong thing, so there you go. Hope you people are happy. Now on to what happened this episode of Super. Goku beats the shit out of a black guy, and surprisingly no one calls the race card. Black blows up Trunks' time machine, but that's okay because Bulma still has Cell's time machine, so they're going to use that. End of episode. Let me just say right off the bat, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a fairly well-crafted episode. It was a lot of fun. I think it was a lot better than last week's episode. I think it was more on par with the first two episodes of this arc than the last week, because last week was a good dip in quality and just barely scrimped by is okay for me. This really felt like it was getting the story back on track. I didn't really feel like my time was being wasted too much in this one. It was to some extent, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But as for like all the things I thought were really good, it's all basically surface level stuff. There wasn't any cool lore stuff that I found particularly engaging. I mean, they did bring up the whole Ring of Time like being a Kaioshin thing, and it's like, oh, okay, it's related to the Kaioshin. That's cool, I guess. I mean, I guess we kind of already knew that from the intro, but honestly, I think the time ring's still a fucking stupid idea, and them just trying to expand the lore of this dumb MacGuffin. Like I said, if it were some sort of mystical ring that just could also travel through time or some shit, that would be one thing, but it's not. It's a ring very specifically, hey, this ring can go through time. How convenient is that? So yeah, them expanding on the lore of the big dumb time ring, I didn't care that much. I mean, I guess it's cool that they're actually taking time to explain things, considering Super has a history of not explaining shit, so the fact that it's even explaining shit I should be fucking grateful for. But yeah, just, that was like the only interesting thing that was happening in this episode. We saw Goku and Black fight. That was really cool. That was a fun fight to me. It was energetic and engaging. I thought it was well choreographed. The animation, not the best, but it was perfectly serviceable. At no point did I just go, ugh. Actually, no way, I take it back. When they punch each other in the face and it's just kind of freeze frames on that, I thought that was particularly poorly drawn. But, whatever. Everything else, though, didn't really take me out of it. I thought it was fine. The callback to Cell's time machine, I like the callback. It's just like, oh, look, continuity nod. Dragon Ball Super remembers what continuity is. I'm so proud of you, Dragon Ball Super. You're being a decent series. It's good to see you growing up. I'm so proud of you. So yeah, like I said, all the really positive stuff, is very surface level things. A couple of side notes, not really positive or negative, but just kind of like, oh, okay, that's something that was brought up. Is one, Black makes a reference to wanting to fight Goku in that body, specifically the one he was using, implying that that's clearly not, once again, that's not actually Goku. He's not a Saiyan. He's not, this isn't even like his normal body. So yeah, it kind of raises the question of, well, shit, what is he? So, once again, they keep dropping, these little breadcrumbs, these little subtle things that makes you go, well, who the fuck is this guy? What is he? When are we going to start getting that unfolded? And, I really want to see where that goes. Because, the options are limitless here, and it could be something amazingly cool, or amazingly fucking retarded. Let's be honest, it's probably going to be retarded, but hopefully the way they do it will be amazingly cool, and this arc will at least, be a cool badass arc, and all the retarded shit will, not make it horrible. So the whole Black thing is, really got me invested in the story. Like, that's like the main thing that's keeping me, like, wanting to see more of this. It's just, I want to know more about Black. So, that's the fact that it has me invested is a really good sign. Like I said, this is something that Super has never done before, and now I am genuinely invested. I have been for episodes now, and I really want to see where this goes. And then the other thing that was brought up was the whole, Goku always holds back, or Kakarot always holds back. He has that bad habit, and it's just like, Super, highlighting dumb, writing moments within your series doesn't, really alleviate anything. Like, you can go like, oh, it's so Goku, like, holding back his power like a fucking retard. It's like, yeah, that's a Goku thing to do, but Jesus Christ, holding back multiple transformations. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, yes, Goku has always, like, kind of held himself back a little. Like, maybe he'd hold off on a transformation. But now he's holding back on at least 2. He still has Super Saiyan 3, and he has the SSGSS, and if you want to take the manga as like a canon interpretation, he apparently also has God form, which is in between those 2 forms in terms of power. So, he has other options at his disposal. So it's really weird for Goku to just be holding back so much of his power. Like, 50% is his normal thing, like, oh, I'm only using half my power. That's normal. Holding back this much fucking power is pretty fucking silly at this point. Because it's just like, oh man, if Goku had just gone SSGSS, he could have stomped the shit out of Black. And I'm sure Black's holding back too. Or Black is going to have some sort of crazy thing where, like, the more powerful his opponent is, the more powerful he gets. And things are going to just go fucking ape shit crazy. So yeah, that little line, a little irksome to me. It's just like, it's just, hey, look at us pointing a big old sign at some of the dumb shit we've been writing. Toei, being self-aware about your own shitty writing doesn't make the writing not shitty. It doesn't automatically now make it clever. Just saying. Now, there is one thing that happened in the episode that did bother me, and that was Black destroying the time machine. And the reason for that, the reason that bothers me, I thought it was kind of cool, that led to the whole Cell's time machine throwback thing. But the fact that Black destroys the time machine just didn't make any sense to me, because he seemed so invested in, I need to kill Trunks for some reason. So for him to destroy the time machine so Trunks can't go back, you would think that, he would want him to have that time machine so he could go back, potentially with Goku, and he could fight Goku another time. Because he really seems like, he really wants to fight Goku again, and he really wants to kill Trunks. So you think, him destroying their one method to get back would be completely counterintuitive to what he actually wants. So I didn't understand his character motivation in that scene whatsoever. It just seemed like this weird dick move. I can understand, if he felt like he was losing, and, he was scared, and he didn't actually want to face these guys again. It was like a last moment desperation thing that just completely fuck them up so they can't go after him. There'd be that, but that's not the case, I don't think. It seems like, he really liked that challenge. He liked this fight with Goku, and he really wants to fight them again. But then, he does the whole destroying the time machine thing, which seemed, I didn't understand the character motivation there. It was really weird to me. And it seemed like the whole thing existed solely for the Cell time machine throwback. Which, it's a cool throwback, but the whole destroying the time machine, and they're like, oh wait, but no, it's okay guys, don't freak out, we got another, poof. It's like, cool throwback, but it feels just like it's padding. It's just because the issue arises, Trunks can't get back to his time, and it is immediately fixed right after. So I'm like, okay, I guess, narratively destroying the time machine didn't matter at all because they immediately just pulled out another one. Oh well. And it seems like next episode, Trunks is going to be back in his own time again. So it's not like this whole destroying the time machine thing, from a narrative standpoint, one, made any sense for Black's character, and two, had any kind of impact on the story, because, hey guys, we have another time machine. No biggie. We got this taken care of. But Black's weird character motivations for blowing up the time machine making no fucking sense. And it's, the whole kind of meaningless of the fan service of the Cell's time machine thing. That didn't hurt the episode for me at all. Like I said, I enjoyed the throwback. That one scene is like 5 seconds. It was a weird scene. Didn't make any sense when he blows up the time machine. But whatever, it happened. And it's a short thing that does not hurt the episode for me. And overall, I still really, really, really enjoyed this episode. Like I said, way better than last week's episode. Last episode was barely okay. This one was legitimately good, like the first 2 episodes of this arc. Is it perfect? No. Does it have like a couple of tonal issues? Yes. Does it have like some weird pacing issues? Yes. But fuck it. These are all minor gripes. Like, if I were to bitch about these things like earnestly and be like, this ruined this fucking episode and I fucking hated it, that's me. That would be me nitpicking. That would be me nitpicking. Like, a lot of people want to accuse me of nitpicking. No, like, I complain about things that narratively fuck up my enjoyment of an episode. This didn't. It's very minor shit. And it does nothing to damage the episode for me. Just like the minor issues in the previous episodes have not been hurting these episodes. Apparently, some people seem to think that I'm going really soft on the series now, that I'm just not being as badass against the series and not giving it shit like it deserves. Well, no, because, it's doing a serviceable job. It's doing well. Are there fucked up points of the episodes? Yeah. But they're nothing that completely cripples the viewing experience for me. And I'm not going to sit here and fake anger just because, people expect me to be the edgelord of the Dragon Ball community, where I just sit there and bitch about everything. Like, no, like, I genuinely like the Dragon Ball franchise, and I like enjoying it when it's good. And, when it's doing things that are good, I want to fucking acknowledge it. So if you don't like it, blow me. There, you people wanted a rant? How was that rant, fuckers? So yeah, like I said, this episode, pretty cool. Next episode, looking forward to it. Apparently Mai's alive. That's a thing. Thank goodness, because it really would have been weird if she had been killed off after being put in all that promotional material. So yeah, also, the outro. I love the new outro. Probably my favorite outro since Hello, Hello, Hello. Great outro, great energy, great visuals. Love the fuck out of it. Like I said, can't wait for the next episode. Till next time, guys, Zeon, out.